Dear brothers and sisters, it's wonderful to be back here at the center. I want to welcome all of you who've flown in or driven in from a lot of different parts of the country, and some of you might have traveled from other countries too. As we have an opportunity to be together this weekend, life is very interesting for each and every one of us, and life is very different for each and every one of us. Even though we all have the same goals, but our journeys are different. Depending on the background, depending on the past karma, we go through different aspects of life. And so they're bound to be confusion, because many times we might look at our life and look at life of those we are close to and find differences. And then one wonders how to deal with that situation. So questions is a good opportunity to be able to clarify, our system, to clarify our vision, so that we can take steps towards our goal. The goal is clear, but how do we get to the goal based on whatever is happening in our lives is what is very important. And so as we have opportunities to have questions and then listen to some answers, since we all are a very diverse group. Many of us are from different parts of the world. Many of us are in faiths and traditions which are different. Many of us could be at different levels in our educational endeavors, and physically we could be at different stages too. And so our goals are the same, even though a lot of these activities associated with us might not be the same. And so to be able to understand how do we reach our goals, even though there are diverse circumstances, is very important, I feel. And so the question of one might answer the questions of many, many others. So this is a good opportunity to be able to know about our journey back to our true home, and to be able to do whatever would get our journey there the fastest. We want to get to our goals. Our path back home could look like it's different, but there are many similarities that have to be there. And so in whatever circumstance we find ourselves in, there's definitely a path towards our goal. And so to be able to understand that even though the path may look slightly different, it is going to get us to our goal is very, very important. Because as human beings, we're looking on this side, we're looking on that side and seeing what's happening here, what's happening there. And then we want to see how that affects our own life. And so let us address some of the questions that came this week. We have many questions come through all kinds of ways. A lot of them come through email these days, but we do get questions through the mail, regular mail also. So let's address some of the ones for this week.
How can we exercise our free will so we can achieve our goals?
It's very difficult to know what is 75% which is bound to happen in our lives, and which exactly is 25% free will. But there are some pointers in life that we can take to know as to how do we address our day-to-day activities. Every day we make decisions. Okay? And so as a person, we should try to make those decisions which will get us to our goal. So the key is to be able to reach our goals. So once we realize what our goal is, and the realization that our goal is to be one with God. Once we have that realization, then every activity that we try to do should be based on reaching our goal. And so Sant Singh Ji Maharaj gave a very simple solution. He said, anything that takes us closer to God is good, anything that keeps us away from God is bad. Yeah. So we can use that rule of thumb and see if the activity that we are going to do is going to bring us closer to God. Now, what brings us closer to God? First is meditation. When we sit in silence and we are able to connect with the divine power, then when we are able to go on the spiritual journey, so that's something that we want to do. We want to add to our daily activities. Selfless service, helping someone else. Because when we help because we want to help, because we realize they're an extension of ourselves, because we realize they're a part of God's family. So that is very good to do. Because when we are helping someone with no expectations of reward for ourselves, then our help becomes selfless. And so selfless service is something which is very important. To be able to remember God, which is doing Simran, or to listen to someone else talk about God. These are very good activities to be involved in. So as a person, we need to see that on a daily basis we do many, many activities. So we need to check what activities are going to be helpful. And the saints are telling us that every thought, word and deed we are held accountable for. Now, good thoughts, good words, and good deeds give us positive results. Okay? And bad thoughts and bad words and bad deeds are giving us results in which we have to pay for whatever our activities have been. But each one of them, whether good or bad, we have to come back into the world to reap the rewards. So the saints say that we should try to focus our attention on those arenas which have what they call ne karma, and with no karma is associated. Yeah. So no karma is associated when we have no thoughts and no words and no deeds. So that means sitting in silence, that means to meditate. Yeah. And so if we can focus more attention into the meditative aspect of our life, then we are better off, number one. Secondly, as we help someone selflessly, that aspect is also considered in which no karma is built for us. So those acts are very good to do. To be able to remember God and think about God and have our attention be on God is very good, because then we're not focused on anyone else, on the world outside. So there can't be any more karma generated for us. So those are the actions that we need to take. We should not worry about what part is 75% and what part is 25%, because there's no way for us to figure that out. So what we need to do is, whatever actions we have to do, whatever thinking we have, whatever words we have, we should see that they come out to be those which are going to take us closer to our goal. And the key is to do our very best in all kinds of circumstances, so that all of our activities cumulatively are bringing us closer and closer to God.
How can we be better listeners?
We are always asking for things of God. We know that we tried to get something on our own, we couldn't get it. So we pray to God. And praying is basically talking to God. God, please give me this thing. God, my exams are coming, let me pass. God, I now graduated and I need to get married, let me find a good partner. God, we're married for a few years, let me have children. So our prayers are always talking to God. And so in our life, it just looks like we've been trained that If we want something, we need to talk. We want to get it from somehow. We need to say something. So generally, also, if you go and meet people, you'll find that there are many people who want to talk, talk, talk. They don't care if they listen to you or not. They want their words to come out. Okay? They want you to, even, when you meet with friends and you meet with family members, there are most people who say are the ones who are talking, talking, talking. Because maybe they feel they know it all and that they want others to know that they know it all, right? And so we live in that environment where it just looks like if you want to get something, you have to talk, you have to get for it, you have to go after it. Let's say even in the classrooms, if you're sitting quietly in the classrooms, chances are that the teacher doesn't even put their attention on you. But if you raise your hands and have a question, and you ask something, then your attention goes on you. So I think we live in a society where all our life, as children, as an adults, it seems like we want to get attention to be coming to us. We want to be the attention of the party or the group or wherever we are. And we've figured that out, that talking makes us feel important. Okay. So it's ingrained into us that we talk, 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 talk. And so very few people learn the techniques of listening. But what's very interesting is, if you think about what meditation is silencing our body, is silencing our mind, so that no thoughts are coming to us, silencing all aspects of our life so that we can listen. So what do we want to listen to? Listen to the voice of the Lord, to the celestial music within, to the divine light and sound of God. So listening is what is going to lead us to our goal, not talking. If we pray to God, God get me to such, can God get me to such, I want to go there tomorrow. What's the best way of going there? Is a new electric vehicle which I can take to get there quickly. We're not going to get there. But if we listen to God and you sit in silence, God is going to provide us with the vehicle that is needed for us to reach God. So, similarly, same things are in this world also. Those who keep on talking, 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 they don't gain anything. Because when they're talking, all they can talk about is what they know. They have no means of gaining anything else at that time. Because whatever they know is what they are talking about. Okay? Whatever they're thinking about something, whatever is based on their understanding about something, is what is happening. But when you listen to someone, then you gain. So if there's a conversation, the one who gains is not the one who's talking, the one who gains is the one who listens. Because maybe the one who's talking is talking about something that we don't know anything about. And if we listen, then at least we can gain for ourselves. And then the priorities of being able to listen, to gain for ourselves, have to be always ahead of the priorities to be able to tell someone something. So it's very important that we learn the techniques of being able to listen to someone. So as we meditate, see, the meditation is a basic technique of sitting in silence and listening. So the more we practice it, the easier it becomes for us as we deal with others in this world. So we find that we are then able to listen in a conversation. We don't feel like, oh, I have to say something to maybe overpower the other person, or I have to say something to contradict the other person, or I have to say something because I maybe know more than this other person about whatever the topic is. Listening means, okay, I'm here, how am I going to gain for myself? I'm only going to gain if I'm sitting in silence. If I talk, 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 then it's only repetition of what I know. And so it's a shift in our thinking, it's a shift in our attitude. Because in the world, all our life, even in the home, let's say you have 2 or 3 kids, the kid who's making more of a racket gets more attention from the parents. The kid who's silent generally gets less attention. Yeah? Because the whole world is kind of focus like that. Wherever there's commotion, then more attention goes into the arena. Okay. Let's say something went wrong in some part of the world and they don't say anything or something, no one knows about it, then they feel, oh, we need to talk, we need to come on TV, we need to say we're in trouble, maybe we'll get help. Okay? Not realizing that help actually truly comes from God, and it will come at the right time through whatever means. So in this world, we've always think, I have to go and say something here, I have to do something here, I have to make sure that I'm talking or making someone aware of whatever my feelings are. But if you look at how do we get to God, it's only in silence. And there's no better goal in life than being with God. There's no one else better than God to be with. There's no one else who can give us love which is perpetual, which will last and last and last. There's no one else who can take us out of any kind of a difficulty that we're in. And so, as life goes on, as we start to realize that the closeness we have of God is going to take us through all the difficulties of life, it is then that we truly start to listen. And listening is being connected to the divine light and sound of God within ourselves, because that happens only in silence. And so as that happens more and more, then what we've gained helps us deal with others in this world. So that when we are with someone, rather than being able to let them know about what our knowledge is, we are trying to gain for ourselves by being quiet and by being able to listen. So those are the techniques that I think help us in our own spiritual journey.
How can we help and serve loved ones who are suffering from dementia or other debilitating mental illnesses?
Dementia or cognitive activity not being correct has been experienced more and more by us today than ever before. One thing, we're also growing older. As we were kids, we didn't realize these things can happen. Now, as we get older, and our parents are getting older too, when we were kids, our parents were very strong, very healthy. We never saw them being sick. Now we're getting to those levels, then we see our parents or our grandparents get into state where dementia sets in, where they forget things, they might repeat things, they might remember the past things very clearly, but nothing of what they said a couple of minutes ago. Yeah? And if someone in your family goes through that state, it is very, very difficult to be able to deal in that situation. I've seen many people get very angry at the people who are going through this dementia problem, not realizing that this is a disease. Okay? This is not something that the person wanted it to happen to them. It just happened in their life. And so we need to be compassionate, we need to be loving, we need to be caring. I think some of the things to do when we know someone, if someone is far away, then we have to try to get help for them. But if we are close by, one of the best things we can do is to look for some professional help. There are many people who have been trained to deal with situations like that. We, even though we all think we know it all, are not trained in all kinds of ways of dealing with things. So if the person, and let's say something happens to your mom or dad or uncle or aunt or grandparents or whoever you're close with, then you think you know it all, you want to give us solutions. But we might not be fully aware of what dementia is all about, what does it do to a person. So I think we should get professional help from those who are from that field, who have gained experience in that arena, so that we can get guidance. The second thing to realize is that we should understand that this is also like a disease like anything else. This is an illness. So if this illness is making the person forgetful, so we can't get angry at them. Okay? If they do things that make us uncomfortable, then we have to keep our patience. So because they don't know what is happening with them, and they are not doing it purposely, it's just like either when they get to that state, they lose memory. Some people have hallucinations when they're going through that phase. And in the hallucinations, many times people are fearing that others are going to get them. Okay? This is a classic problem that I've heard many people talk about. And so when the person who's in that dementia is feeling like people are going to get them, they also start to feel that the people in the house are also going to get them. Okay? So the behavior might get very antagonistic to their loved ones. And that's very difficult to understand. All of a sudden, how come this person who was so loving has become so angry and so violent? But we need to understand that this is a disease, this is an illness. And this is why professional help to be able to deal with those situations good. Now, if we can handle it on our own, I think that's the best thing to do if we can. But if it gets to a state where we cannot handle it, then we need some professional people to be able to handle that situation. And to have professional people handling the situation is not bad, there's nothing wrong with it. So many times we feel that we have to do it all, but if we cannot handle it because we don't have the skills and we don't have the means and we don't have that understanding, then it's better to let professional people deal with that situation. So I would say the key is someone who is going through that situation used to meditate before, then maybe we should sit down with them and try to have them meditate. If not, even if they don't meditate, if we are very close to them, then let us ourselves meditate and see if some of those vibrations of being calm are going to help them, along with getting professional help. But our dealing with them should be very patient ones, our dealing with them should be loving ones, our dealing with them should be in which we care, so that we're not bringing any more difficulty in their life. As it is, they're going through a lot of pain. No? It's not easy for them as they get to that stage. So we who are close to them, who live with them, we need to deal with them in a manner which is loving and which is caring, so that they are able to pass through that phase of their life as well as possible. So let's just meditate for a few minutes. Close your eyes very gently, just like you close them when you go to sleep. Your eyeballs should be straight. Focus 8 or 10 inches in front of you. And those of you few who have been initiated in the mysteries of the beyond, please do your Simran. And those of you who are new here, please repeat any name of God that you feel comfortable with. The repetition of God's name should be done mentally and not out loud. Right in front of you, vistas of light will sprout forth. And keep your attention right in the middle of what do we see. Even though in the beginning it might look like the lights are coming and going, there are flashes of light, circles of light. The lights could be of various colors. Over time they stabilize, and then you'll be able to experience many, many other vistas within too. So I pray to God Almighty to help each and every one of us here connect with the divine power, and it's my prayer to the three great spiritual masters of the past century, Hazur Baba Savan Singh Ji Maharaj, Param Sant Kripal Singh Ji Maharaj, and Dayal Purush Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj, to help each and every one of us connect with the divine light in its effulgence. So we'll sit for a few minutes. I'll be getting you out of this meditative state at that time, and my best wishes are with each and every one of you. Please leave off.